All right, so because of the intense, intense people not having to learn this class today, I will instead of doing with people, I will do it by myself. So, first of all, we are going to solve some questions, and then check this out group for a test that I will send. So, objects with equal masses but different densities different have different volumes. Yes, they have different volumes. Why is that? Yeah, they have different volumes. Why is that? Because because imagine 9 times 4 equals 36. And also 18 times 2 equals 36. They give out the same mass. However, their volumes are different due to their different densities. So imagine this as your volume, and imagine this as your density. So as you can see, you need way less volume for more density, so you could get the same mass, and you need way more volume if you want the same density. So therefore, even if it is a very small change in density, every single object that has the same mass yet different density, yet different volume, different densities will always have the different volume, even if it's by a little bit. Remember that. So yeah, what is the meaning to a balanced diet? The food taken by an individual to according to his appetite. That is not true. This is because what if imagine a world where people could eat whatever they want. What would they eat? Usually they'll eat something like fast food. I mean, it's addicting, yeah, sure, but is it really healthy for the body? Well, of course not. So it couldn't be for some individual's appetite. No individual, not anything would be a balanced diet from somebody's opinion, nor is a food that helps us to take disease. There is no magical superfood in this universe. Even if you go to the depths of the world, you will never find a food that actually is able to sustain you for a long time. And even so, however, however, it is true that C is correct. Why? Because wait, wait. Yeah, it is C. So basically, so basically, this asks us what are this tells us that we need the correct proportion of every type of food. Yes, salt is very yummy. I can agree on that. But however, salt is not good for your body, nor is sugar. Therefore, it is at the top where you do not have you don't really have anything much. That's why it is C. Question 3 asks you whether these following characteristics indicate, a physical change of substance. So, um, so there is this is very easy. No new substances are formed. When you are in a physical change, you only change either some of this. Either let's first of all the shape. So signs of the use of physical change are, for example, the shape. Usually you can also do the side. So basically maybe something, if you get a sponge and then you squish it, some water comes out and it may be a little tiny bit smaller than before. No, size, a little bit the size. And also the main and also phase. All of these all of these are, yes, except for the face. All these two can be a sign of chemical change, but it can also be a sign of physical change. So what is the result? No new substances are formed. The only thing that changes in the physical change is the fact that the only thing that changes is either of those, and they are technically the same thing. They just look or feel different. However, in the chemical change, it changes like everything. Water takes a shorter time to boil on the mountaintop compared to in the valley, although the same electric kettle is used. Why is this? Well, it's because it's because the atmospheric pressure is higher in the valley. All right. So, using process of elimination, you should know that B is totally wrong. This is totally BS. And in fact, that makes it boil even faster. However, water has this very special ability where not ability, like thing, where if you put it into a vacuum, it will boil. Why? Because it doesn't have any pressure in it, so it has to react to that pressure, so it just boils. And also, no, dampness does not do anything with how fast it boils, and nor is the rate of heat loss. The rate of heat loss should make it go slower. But yeah, if you ever have a thing that can simulate a vacuum, ask your parents to use it and put a water cup in there. I promise it wouldn't do anything to your water because this isn't space, but it will have a container where the environment's close to space that you can see the water boiling. So the efficiency of devices are normally less than 100%. Why is this? Where is this energy going to? Well, the answer for question 5 is, guess what? It's D. This is why. All right. So I'll tell you why. If many devices, for example, my computer, my phone, no, not my phone, a phone, maybe my iPad, things like that, they consume material. We all know that, right? Yes. Not only that, but it does not 100% gives you efficiency. If it actually does, you're living in a simulation because it has to come up as heat. That is why whenever you use your devices for some time, it gets really, really hot and it starts to overheat. Yeah, so that's a random fact that about the efficiency of devices. They're not 100% efficient. A company would try, but probably never work. What is the optimum temperature for the growth of bacteria that causes human diseases? Is it A, 0 degrees Celsius, B, around room temperature, C, around the human body temperature, or D, that is a random number that they just took so that they could use it for fun. In fact, it's C, because C is it's a bodily temperature. Your body will stay at this. This is your average human body temperature. It's, if I were to remember, it's at 36 or 37, but I don't need to remember that. I just know that it is C because it is around the average temperature of the human body. And at that temperature, a bacteria would be able to grow and actually grow way faster than in other temperatures. In 0 degrees Celsius, it just doesn't even reproduce because it's too cold. However, if it's 60 or higher or something like that, it basically just says goodbye. Why is this? Because the bacteria gets cooked. That's why you cook bacteria. That's why you cook meat. You don't want bacteria you don't want salmonella. You just want cooked chicken or meat, whatever. All right. So, what is the purpose of food processing? It does not thicken the food because food processing. If you ever try anything a little bit processed, it doesn't really make the food thicken. If you try a non-processed and a processed version of the food, there's no sign of thickening, nor is it increasing the quantity. You don't, unless you're trying to inflate water into your food. There will be you can never have more of something paying the same price unless you're in a magical world or ignoring all the other economic stuff. And no, we don't. It doesn't increase the oxidation, and yes, it extends the food shelf life. Why is this? Why does food processing extends the shelf life? It extends the shelf life because, well, It's easy to identify. It's shelf a food's shelf life, especially fresh food, is very low because it spoils very easily. However, processed foods can actually stay in the same place for maybe a year, maybe two. Who knows? So some processed food you're eating is actually very old, and you have to consume them very fast. But yeah, that is a fact. So, here are some diagrams that show some products that are made of synthetic rubber. As you can see, there's some gloves and there's a rubber tire. So, which of the following is a characteristic of both of these products? Well, these products are not metal, so we instantly do get B out. There are some there are metals and metalloids are the ones that are actually good at conducting heat, not conducting electricity. It cannot dissolve in water. Have you tried dissolving your gloves or a tire in the water? Have you tried to put an eraser in the water? Of course not. Can it easily burn? I never. This is getting out of hand. No, you can't burn rubber that easily. That is for paper and wood. But it can withstand high heat and high temperature. Why is this? Most carbon is really special. So rubber is actually very elastic, and also it withstands really high heat and really high temperatures. That is why rubber is used in a lot of other ways. Rubber is used in a lot of ways, and therefore synthetic rubber, despite it is technically just plastic, like it's like plastic basically, and it is harmful to the environment. It can it can withstand really high heats. So, a male peacock showing its colorful tail. Colorful tail. Why is this? They just do it to attract other. There's a reason why some people like hunt people who look beautiful, because it attracts others. This is like adaptations. Peacocks slowly have better beautiful traits, and then they can attract their females. Which of the following is located at the second trophic level of the pyramid of numbers? Why are they naming it as the pyramid of numbers? I'm confused. It's a grasshopper. So let's break this question down. A pyramid of numbers, which I presume, because I do not understand what a pyramid of numbers is probably a food chain. A food chain is, well, a chain where something gets eaten by something else, and they get eaten by something else. The energy just goes through and through. So basically, the second trophic level is the second animal, the second thing. Firstly, it starts with grass, and then it goes to a grasshopper, and then it goes to an eagle, and then it goes to a snake. Wait, no. It goes to a snake and then an eagle. Sorry. And it goes to a snake and then an eagle. And as you can see, this is the first trophic level, this is the second, this is the third, and this is the fourth. Well, as you can see, grasshopper is at the third stage. Which characteristic is affected by environmental factors? Is it your ability to roll the tongue? Is it your IQ? Is it the type of blood group, or is it the pattern of fingerprints? All right, right off the bat, we could literally just not do blood group. Why? Because blood group is basically from your parents. Your parents have a preset blood group. So why are they having a preset? Why do we need them to? Yeah, it's simple. It's just you can't do that. The ability to roll your tongue is just it's just a genetic. It's just something that you can just train. The ability to roll your tongue is something that you could train. The pattern of fingerprints is like random. the pattern of fingerprints is just random. It's random. You don't know if you get a good one or bad one, and who cares? However, the intelligence, it changes. There are several societies in the world that may be smarter or dumber than the rest of the world because of some environmental factors. Maybe in an environment that has way more pollution that causes for children with less IQ or less intelligence in general. So next is the diagram. So this diagram is basically showing the burning of paper. What are we looking at? What changes this? Right off the bat, we can literally just do instant color change. These changes do not exist. However, this does not include physical change. I asked, yes, you may say, oh, I just said that physical changes are those that change the size, the shape, and the phase. Look at it, it's gonna be small. Yes, but new chemicals are being formed. New compounds are being formed after this. Now, instead of fire and paper, fire isn't. No, it's ash. It becomes into ash. It just becomes into ash. It doesn't. It isn't a piece of paper anymore. It's an ash. It's just ash. Therefore, it's a chemical change. All right. So, why do poisonous frogs have bright colors on their bodies? Is it A, for protection? Or is it B, for camouflage? Is it C, to attract a mate? Or is it D, as a warning sign? Well, it's a warning sign. So if you ever see a colorful frog, yes, it's colorful. Yes, I know you may like colorful frogs, but that does not mean that you should eat or play with it. This is a very dangerous precaution. Bright colors are attracting all the other animals to get to the frogs, and the frogs can basically consume them. All right, we're halfway, and we will have a 3-minute break. You can always skip this. All right. Sorry for the intermission. I am back. So, as you can see, the following information is describing a method of food processing. This food has been cooked at 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds, followed by immediate cooling and packaging. Most of the nutrients and natural flavor of food are maintained. Which of the following food is processed using this method? I can for sure tell you that this is not how milk is made. I'm 100% sure this is not how milk is made. Oh no, milk powder, yeah. Nor is meat. Meat has another way. You cannot heat meat to 72 degrees Celsius in 15 seconds and then you let it cool down. Seafood also follows the same rule. Therefore, it's fruit juice. Fruit juice is heated to 72 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds and then just cooled down and then packaged. Yeah. So that's what your instant vanilla milk or whatever fruit juices that you drink in the carton are from. And now, what happens when a guy, does not eat enough fiber? Because this is why you should eat fiber. Because constipation. All right, indigestion has nothing to do with fiber. It's usually a problem in the body, and yeah. And dehydration is caused of the lack of this. And no, this isn't like piss or something. This is just water. That's just tea. you lack of water is the reason why many people are dehydrated. This is why you should drink water. It gives you dehydration, and you do not want to experience that. Constipation is when you can't poop. You can't poop because it's bad. And a gastric ulcer has nothing to do with the body. It has nothing to do with fiber. Kids, this is why you should eat your veggies. They have a lot of fiber that you can use. And in some countries, fiber can have an ER. Some countries use RE. It depends. All right. Actually, which color of light is scattered most at noon? Is it? No, I'm not gonna play the WSC method. It's all right. Have you ever just went out? Have you ever just woke up at like noon and you're seeing? Oh yeah, I love the sky. It looks so blue. Yeah, that's because it's what it looks like at noon. Yeah, in the new morning, in some days it could be gray, but usually it should be blue. And it says scattered the most. It could be red in some days, but unless you're colorblind and you see violet or orange, it should 100% be blue. Usually. Which of the following food chains is correct? It could. So, first of all, the question is so confusing. Yeah, so I think the question means from from the start to end. So that means we could identify and eliminate these two. But have you ever seen a snake eat some nectar? Of course not. You've never seen a snake get eaten by a butterfly. That is impossible. And yes, there are some birds that do use nectar, but have you ever seen a butterfly eat a literal bird? Of course not, unless it's a dead bird or something. So oh my god, that's actually straight. So the only option is, just kidding, it's not it. Just kidding, I'm just joking. Yay, it's A. Because butterflies can take nectar and birds can eat butterflies, and then snakes eat the birds. An object moves at a constant velocity on the surface of the floor. What can be said about the object on the surface of the floor? How's the object moving at that constant velocity? The floor if an object is on what? If an object if an object wait 1 second, let me just look at what happened. I'm sorry. What? Yeah, I just got jump scared. I'm sorry. So if an object moves at a constant velocity on the surface of a floor, what can be said about the surface of the object? If the floor is inclined, the object will have to go down at a faster speed. Bro. Yeah, so 18 is the force acting on the object is equal to the opposing frictional force. Why is this? Friction makes objects slow down when they move. And also it creates heat. That's why when you rub your hands like this, it gets warmer. Dude, this is getting scary outside. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's friction. Very basic. And now, the surface of a smooth surface, it does decrease friction. However, it won't do it by 100%. And no force is acting. The object is moving at a constant velocity, so A is false. All right. A person who is healthy will experience food poisoning if ingested food which is not fresh, although food has been cooked properly. What is the factor that causes this to happen? Bro, this is asking us so many health questions. I don't want to be a dietitian. So yeah. Fun fact, heat does not kill. As yes, I know that you kill most of the things could be killed by heat. However, toxins cannot be destroyed by heat. Therefore, that person could die. All right, next question. Which of the following is a method that could be used to reduce environmental pollution problems? Recycle paper materials, the use of... Oh, it's not a method. All right. It's a use of forest areas. Reusing paper materials is really good. However, you need to use a lot of paper. We need to reuse a lot of paper because it's actually way worse than plastic. Using less petroleum is also a good way. However, you need to buy an electric car if you want to reduce it entirely, but that isn't 100% good yet. Nor is using renewable energy sources is sometimes very unreliable. However, you could still try. So yeah. 21. Which of the following factors determines the energy requirement by a person? Is it age, sex, occupation, size of body, or weight of body? Oh, let's find out. Row. Oh, sorry. So yeah, it's E. This is more of a trick question. Age does affect the amount of energy. There's a reason why you eat way more when you're a teenager compared to a baby. And secondly, your sex or gender. No, just kidding. Why am I referring to sex here? Sex is basically your biological gender. However, gender is a different term nowadays. What gender means is what you think you are. Like what you think your sex is supposed to be. So yeah, they're two different things. Do not mess them up. Because as the saying goes, gender is in your mind, sex is in your pants. Yeah. Your occupation does matter. Because if you're an athlete, you run a lot, so you need more energy. The size of body also matters. The size of weight matters because of obvious reasons. Or if you want me to explain it, the size of body and the weight of body basically work together because you need to sustain fat to be fat. Which of the following shows the effects of pollution on the environment? Acid rain and global warming. So, what is the source of these types of pollution? Well, why is it asking us pollution? Because well, it wants us to worry about the pollution world, and it's actually industrial toxic waste. Why? Burning fossil fuels does affect with global warming. However, it doesn't affect anything with acid rain. Same with radioactive waste, but for acid rain only. Agricultural waste is only for acid rain. Only industrial toxic waste actually affects both global warming and acid rain, because some of these chemicals could well be going to the sky and prevent the sun from hitting the... Yeah, it's really dangerous. All right, so radioactive residues must be handled with great precaution because the rays they're really easy to destroy cells. So there are many examples of people using particle accelerators. And wait, let me just circle the question real quick. All right, there are many examples of people using, like, for example, particle accelerators, and it hits a part of their body. And note that it is very radioactive, so it affects a lot of living cells. It kills these cells, and it could potentially lead to death if it's hit on the head or the heart or any important part of the body. All right, this is the diagram below that shows a food pyramid. So the place that you should eat here the most is... You're on a roll. It's not... Oh yeah. So it is P. Oh, it is B. It is B. So why is it B? Cereals is a source of... Cereals is a cereals are a really good source of food, of like making you full. You need that. fruits are a really good replacement for vegetables. However, the FDA recommends eating, I remember, more fruits and vegetables. No, less fruits and vegetables. And beans are basically the protein. You could use a lot of things for proteins. You could use meats. However, because the pure opposite here. And finally, sugar. Sugar, salt, and fat are the things that you should not eat a lot. The FDA recommends not a lot of these because they're really bad for your body. And to the final question, which of the following is the natural method to control pests in a farm without polluting the environment? This is a really big problem around the world, and it is biological control. Insecticide and fertilizer control can also be by. Fertilizer control does not have to do anything with anything. Vector control, no, it doesn't make sense either. You don't need that to manage the pest in a farm. However, biological control means that you basically biological control is when you when you control the amount of pests in a farm. So yeah, that is all for today. Thank you and see you guys.